Washington is issuing threats. American troops are on the move. The IRGC is in full alert mode. Tehran is loading missiles. The targets are locked and loaded. The Arab nations, Russia and even Israel, are urging President Trump to hold off the attack. This is no bluff because Iran is no soft target.
The United States has warned of possible military action. President Donald Trump has been briefed on strike options and potential targets deep inside Iran. Tehran has placed its armed forces on high alert and issued a blunt warning. Any attack will trigger retaliation not just against the United States, but also against neighbors hosting American bases. Arab nations are urging restraint. They fear the fallout. Because this war, if it comes, will not be short. It will not be contained and it will not be simple. The situation could quickly spiral into a firestorm. Iran says it is ready to fight. The real question is whether it can endure a prolonged war with the world's most powerful military. Across air, land, sea, cyberspace and multiple regional fronts. Militarily, Iran is not defenseless, far from it. Iran fields around 580,000 active duty troops and another 200,000 in reserve, one of the largest forces in West Asia. Its military is split between the regular army and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The IRGC, an elite force tasked with regime survival, internal control and regional operations. Iran's real strength lies in missiles and drones. Tehran possesses one of the largest missile arsenals in the region. Ballistic missiles with ranges up to 2,000 kilometers, cruise missiles, precision-guided systems, underground launch sites buried deep in mountains. US bases across West Asia from Iraq to the Gulf are within striking distance. US has about 50,000 soldiers deployed across the region. Israel is within range. Iran also boasts of hypersonic missiles which are extremely difficult to stop. Israel witnessed the fury firsthand in June last year. The famed Iron Dome failed to intercept many projectiles and this is the destruction and Israel knows it. The Israeli attack was relentless. Iranian military sites, weapon depots and even nuclear facilities were badly damaged. But Iran has rebuilt fast. After the 12-day war last year, when US and Israeli strikes hit nuclear sites and wiped out senior commanders including IRGC chief Hossein Salami. Tehran moved quickly. Production lines were restored, missile stockpiles replenished. The Revolutionary Guards now openly claim increased missile reserves and heightened battle readiness. Then there are the drones. The Shahed series, cheap, deadly, battle-tested in Ukraine and Sudan. They are hard to intercept, ideal for overwhelming air defenses. Iran has thousands of them. Add to this the proxy network, battle-hardened Hezbollah, Hamas remnants, the Houthis who have long-range missiles. Then there are militias across Iraq and Syria, controlled, armed and coordinated by the IRGC. Though each of them have been hit, they have been hit very hard by Israel and the United States. Today, they all are a depleted force, but still holds a lot of firepower. Any war risks igniting all fronts at once. But Iran's strength has limits. Iran's military has taken blows. Its proxy shield has been badly damaged. Its top leadership has been targeted, and its economy is dangerously weak. Iran's military has taken a blow. The Iranian rial has collapsed to nearly 1.47 million to the US dollar. Inflation jumped to about 47%. The falling currency has wiped out savings, reduced purchasing power, and created fear that prices will continue rising.
Well, the situation in the bazaar has slightly improved. People come to shop a bit more, but generally the whole cost of living situation for people is weak, especially in shopping. But thankfully the security situation is improving. People come out to shop a bit more.
This economic collapse sparked the protests now rocking the country. A war would push it over the edge. Diplomatically, Iran has backing. But is that enough? Russia and China oppose US aggression. Turkey and Qatar urge calm. Saudis have announced that their territory can't be used by US to launch attacks. But Venezuela has shown how little statements can mean when bombs fall. That is why Tehran is signaling both defiance and dialogue. Iran says it does not seek war, but it is prepared for one. And if miscalculation sets in, regret may come too late. The question is not whether Iran can fight. The question is what price both sides are willing to pay. And right now, neither seems ready to calculate that cost.